Hi everyone, my name is Piyush and today I'll be showing you how you can mount your S3 bucket as a file system on EC2 server. Without wasting any time further, let's get into it. So we'll be needing basically few things. First is an EC2 server, a IAM user, IAM role and policy, and a S3 bucket. So I'll just open three different tabs for each of those. So I'll open EC2 on this tab and then IAM on another tab and then S3 on another tab. Okay, so first let's get started with the EC2 server. I'll click on that. So I'll go over here in the instances. I'll click on launch instance. I'll select a free tier image. I'll select the Ubuntu one. And then I'll select an instance type, which is T2 micro, so that it's free tier eligible. Click on next, configure instance detail. I'll keep these settings as default. And over here in the user data section, I'll add few commands so that it will install all those command line utilities while the system is booted up. So the first one will do an apt-get update. Then this command will do the installation of AWS CLI command line tool. And then this one is S3FS, is a fuse-based file system, which we use to mount our S3 bucket as a file system on the EC2 server. Okay, so these three commands will be running in sequence once the system is up. And then we'll click on next, add is storage. I'll keep the default storage. Next, add tags. I'll give it a name. So name is my first server. Should be good. Then I'll configure the security groups. You could restrict your security group to certain ports or certain IPs. So I'll just keep it as default. This is not a secure way of doing the things, but I'm doing it just for the demo purpose. Else you would select it from your IP, or if you're behind a corporate VPN gateway, then you could put your VPN gateway CIDR over here. And I'll just keep it default for now so that it's accessible from everywhere, because I just have to do this for demo purpose and then I'll destroy the instance. Okay, then I'll click on review and launch. Everything's good. Click on launch. I'll select the key pair. So this is my default key pair. I'll click on launch instances, and the system, it'll take around a couple of minutes. Meanwhile, our server is coming up. I'll go to the next tab, which is IAM console. I'll go and create a new user. So I'll click on add user. I give the user a name, S3FS-user. I just need the programmatic access. I wouldn't want this user to access the AWS console, so that should be good. I have to add certain permissions to the user so that it should be able to mount the S3 bucket, read the objects, write the objects, delete the objects, all those things. So I'll create a custom policy for that. So what I'll do is I'll click on attach existing policy directly, and I'll click on create policy. Okay, so I wouldn't be adding all the S3 full access to this user. Instead, I'll just choose certain access that is required for this demonstration purpose. I'll click on service, and it should be S3 for us. Then I'll select the actions. It should be list, read, and write. And then I'll expand each of these to further segregate the permissions. So I don't need all of those. So I'll just uncheck this one. I'll click on list bucket and list bucket version, list all my bucket. This should be good. Then in the read section as well, I'll just uncheck this, and I'll select get object and get object version. It would be here. Okay, here. And this should be enough. And the same in the right as well. I'll uncheck this one. And I would need basically delete object, restore object, put object, and put object versioning. Delete object version, and put object is same as put object version, so there is no separate policy for that, so no separate permissions for that. And this should be enough, I guess. And then I'll expand this one, resource over here. So I basically say apply this policy, apply these type of access on all the buckets and all the objects within those buckets. So this should be good. And then I'll click on next, add tags. I'll leave it blank, review, and I'll give this policy a name. I'll give it bucket policy. Okay, and I'll create the policy. Okay, so my policy is now being created. So the next is I have to attach this policy to the user. So I'll go back to my previous window over here and I'll hit refresh. And now I search it over here, bucket policy. I'll select this one, add tags, review, and create user. So that's it. So my user has been created with this name, and this user has the policy attached to it, which can, do all those actions on the S3 bucket itself. So these are the access key ID and secret access key that we will be using. Now I can see my server is also up and running. So I'll just click on the server, click connect, and then I'll use the default connection terminal, hit connect, and then it'll open a web-based SSH terminal for me. So I'll just, I'm logged in now. So let me just run the command quickly to see if the tools have been installed properly. So I see that AWS CLI has been installed. Let's check S3FS as well. So it's also been installed. So once I'm logged in and everything is working perfectly and as expected, I'll go and I'll create a directory in my home directory. So currently I'm in home Ubuntu. So I'll create a new directory and I'll call it bucket. Okay. So by default it's been created by Ubuntu user and the same group. So which is what we need. And I'll go inside that and I'll just create a few files. So test1.txt, test2.txt, test3.txt. Okay. So now I have a folder over here with these three files. So next step is I have to sync this folder to the S3 bucket. Before that, we have to create the S3 bucket. So I'll go over here in my S3 management console, hit on create bucket. I'll give the bucket a unique name. Let's say the awscli 101. Okay, and I'll block all the public access to it because we want to keep it internal. And I'll leave rest of the things as default. I'll hit create bucket. Okay, so there is this bucket that's been created for us, and we also have created a folder over here. So we have to sync this folder to that bucket. We'll be configuring the AWS CLI command line tool first. So I'll hit on AWS configure. I'll give the access key ID, which is over here. I'll copy this one. I'll paste it over here, hit enter. Then it's asking me AWS secret key, which is over here. Hit on show. I'll copy it and I'll paste it over here. Should be good. Default region for me, it's Canada Central 1. And that's it. Now that my access credentials have been configured over here, I have to run this command over here. It'll sync this particular folder with the S3 bucket. So I'll just replace it quickly with path on the file system is home Ubuntu bucket. And my bucket name over here, this is the awscli -101. Just type it over here and that's it. So I hit over here and it says uploaded these three files to this bucket. So if we go over to our bucket now, we go inside that, we'll see three files that have been recently uploaded with that command line utility. Okay. So the file is in sync with the bucket, but let's say if we create a new file over here, test4.txt, it won't come automatically over here, which is our main goal is. Okay, so if I hit refresh, we still see these three files. So for that, we have to mount that S3 bucket as a file system on this server. To mount S3 bucket as a file system on this server, we first have to create a credential file so that it can authenticate, the user can authenticate itself to the bucket. To do that, we have to create a new file with our secret key and access key. So I'll copy this one again from here. separated by colon. I'll add the secret access key as well. And then I'll basically append this to a new file on my current home directory, and I'll give it a name, password underscore S3FS. I hit enter. Okay, so I have cleared my screen quickly, and now I'm gonna go to the home directory, and I should have a file over here which I created. So it has the contents, which is what we needed. Now the next is we have to use this credential file to mount our S3 file system. Yeah, before that I have to give 600 permissions to this file. Okay, so our prerequisites for mounting the S3FS has been done. Let's now go to the instruction page. Let's just do a Google search on S3FS. Go to this github.com page of S3FS-fuse, and it will have all the instructions, how to download it, how to install it. So installation part has already been done for us. So we have used the user data script for that. Then these are the example, and then it says you have to create a credential file, or you could use the default credential file for AWS, or you could create a new file in this particular directory, and it should have the contents like this. Provide the permission 600. So that's been done. So we have completed the steps till here. The next step is to run this command to mount the bucket to a particular FS mount point. Okay, so if you're gonna run this command directly from here, just like the way it is, it's gonna throw some error, or it won't be completed for you. Because I have faced this issue many times in the past. So I had to customize this command. I had to do a lot of extensive research to make it work for me. But for the sake of the demo purpose, I'll show you what it will provide the output to us. So I'll copy this command from here, paste it over here, and I'll basically have to replace this. The bucket path is home ubuntu bucket, and my bucket name as well from here, which is the awscli -101. Okay, and my password file, I named it underscore instead of hyphens, so this should be good. I hit enter, and it says the directory is not empty because we already have some files in that. So I'll use option non-empty with it. So even though the command is successful, it would not do anything for us. So I'll just hit mount grep bucket. See, no results. So what I'll do is I'll use a customized command that I have created for myself, and I'll use that and see if it's gonna work or not. So this is the command that I was referring to. It has some additional parameters. Let's go one by one. What are those? So the bucket name is same, password file is good, non-empty we have already added. Then it should have read write permissions, and then allow other means the other users who have not been able to access this file earlier should have access to it. And then keep this option as the same. UID is the user ID and group ID. So if you're not sure about this one, what you can do is you can do echo $UID. So it's 1000 for me. So that is what I have pasted out over here. And then my S3 URL. So S3 dot my location, and then Amazon AWS.com. Endpoint is my region. Use path request style. That's it. So this command, it should work for me. So if I hit enter, it says password file is not readable because I have to update the name. So let's go over here and replace the hyphen with underscore. Okay, I hit enter. Okay, and now when we run that mount command again, it's showing me the result, right? That means the bucket's been mounted properly now. To test the change, let's go to the bucket. Okay, let's create a new file over here, test4.txt. And let's see if it's been updated over here. See, it only had 3 files. So if I click on refresh, I see the 4th file as well. And if we want to test if if it's synced with the delete object operation as well. So I'll just remove one file, test1.txt, and it should be removed from the bucket as well. So if I hit refresh, test1.txt is gone now, which is perfect, which is what we were trying to do. So let's go back over here and let's go to, we are in this directory over here, etc. Let's take a backup of fstep file, fstep and fstep backup. Okay, I'll have to use the elevated privileges with sudo command. And now I have to update this file to basically add one more line to it. Okay, hit enter and I paste this line over here. So what it will say is, it will say add this bucket, mount this bucket on this file system mount point using this particular utility with these options. Okay, and that's it. We have to just hit save and this should be good. Now if we're gonna reboot our instance, or if we're gonna stop and start our instance, our mount point, our S3FS mount point will still be there and we won't have to make those changes again. So I'm gonna put all the commands and all the steps that we have followed in the description section below. So have a look and give it a try, and let me know in the comment section if it doesn't work for you or if you're facing any issues. I'll be more than happy to help you out. If you are new to my channel, just hit on the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and hope to see you again. Thank you very much.